Hello and welcome. You're tuned into Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. I'm Srishti Sharma. With me as always is Cheryl D'Souza. And viewers, this is the show where you get answers for all your stock-related queries. And today is a women's special. So we're going to be catering to all the women viewers and investors out there. So all the ladies, you will get a chance to get all your stock-related queries answered by the experts in today's show. But before that, let's have a look at what the markets are up to. So Cheryl, what we are seeing is that there was a recovery attempt from the day's lowest point, while Nifty 50 actually managed to do so, but the Bank Nifty is yet again reeling under pressure.
Absolutely, actually, Shrishti, a very good morning to you. Not that a great morning coming from the markets, because we're seeing a very flip-floppy move when it comes to the benchmark indices. And if you look at the Nifty Bank is actually underperforming the benchmarks by a margin actually. It's at the day's lowest point as we speak. That is your Nifty Bank for you, 0.7% cut coming in for Nifty Bank, with the advanced decline ratio right now being neck to neck. At one point in time, you also saw the Nifty as well as Sensex also dip into the negative territory along with the broader markets. The broader markets saw a shave off at least of a percent from the day's highest point. That was your mid cap and your small cap index, and there you go, they are still in the negative territory, but the fall is not that much. They have actually recovered from the day's lowest point. So yes, volatile moves continue on the benchmark indices. Let's take a look at where India VIX is today, because remember yesterday it had actually risen past that 22 mark, and today the volatility index is taking a bit easy. 21.74 is the level that the India VIX is at. Let's take a look at the list of the gainers and the losers in trade today. Then it is HUL, Coal India, Reliance Industries, Britannia as well as Cipla that is holding on. So you can suffice to say that Reliance is holding the fall, or rather the moves coming in for the benchmark indices today. While on the flip side, Sun Pharma reacting to ahead of its numbers. We have BPCL, SBI, Apollo Hospitals as well as Shriram Finance among the other set of losers in trade today. Talking about the sectoral indices, and the picture there is not looking that much of concern, because you have metal today that is taking it a bit easy after the almost 4% rise yesterday. You have pharma that is taking a bit easy, but you have FMCG, realty that are powering ahead in trade today. So that's the way how the markets are looking like at this point in time. If you look at the benchmarks, you really cannot decide which side of the market or which side of the fence the market is moving today, Shrishti.
Well, certainly that's the way how the markets are up to, and the key to watch, like you rightly mentioned, Cheryl, will be India VIX. So let's see what is the movement that we get to see on that particular index. But with this, viewers, let's move forward, and just a note to all the women investors that today is the fourth Wednesday of the month, and we're going to be catering to all your queries, stock-related queries, and we will try to get the investment strategy for you as well from our experts for today. So do write to us on the WhatsApp number that will be flashing on the top of your screen, and you can also write to us on our social media pages, that is X as well as Facebook pages. So let's get started without further ado. And let me welcome on board two of our very special guests. Kush Bohra is joining us on the technical side, as well as Mr. G Chokkalingam is joining us on the fundamental side. A very good morning to both of you, and thank you so much for your time. And the first query that I have is actually coming in from a viewer named Inku. And Inku wants to know about Johnson Hitachi. Mr. Chokkalingam, if I could come to you and have your take on Johnson Hitachi. Her buy price is 1300 rupees, and what to do in this particular counter right now is the first query. And she also has bought Spark, one of the counters that is that was reeling under pressure for the past couple of months on the back of a news flow. And Inku has this stock from a price of 254 rupees, sitting at a loss. What to do in both of these names? Good morning.
Good morning. Johnson definitely can, the investor can hold purely in the short term because it's a summer and this quarterly results could be good. For in anticipation of summer, sales normally go up in March quarter. So if there is any momentum post results, that can be used to book profit. I'm sorry, the second stock name I missed to get it.
This one is coming in from Gayatri, who's writing to us from Chennai. She has, this is for you actually, Kush. She has HUL, which she has bought a call option of 24.80. She's saying for May 30th. She wants to know whether she can go advise to go ahead with it. I'm sorry, she's contemplating on buying it.
Hi, Cheryl. The strike rate you said is 24.80 or 23.80?
Kush, it is 24.80.
24.80. No, I wouldn't advise that. It's a bit far off. And even though the stock is seeing a bit of a rebound, we know the FMCG space has been reeling under pressure. So this could well be a short covering bout before the election results come out, and things perhaps could go topsy turvy. So my suggestion is to stay away from the 24.80 call option for HUL for this month expiry.
All right, so that's the take coming in on HUL. Moving on, and Mr. Chokkalingam, just getting back to the previous query, Inco was also wanting to have an advice on Spark. I'm not sure, did you advise her on this one as well? Her buy price was 254 rupees.
Sun Pharma Advanced Research. If that is a stock, I think the stock is down more than 50%. Yeah, it is very hard to say sell, but I have been tracking this company for more than 10 years, and it has been disappointing even in the last 10 years to come back to any meaningful bottom line. So if it's losing, hold it by any chance purely on the technical or momentum side. If there is any even little recovery, that can be used to sell the stock.
All right, this one is coming in from a viewer, Renuka, who's writing to us from Kerala. She's holding Infosys 200 shares at a price of 1360 rupees per share. She wants to know whether she can hold on to it or look to exit, and also which share to buy. She's asking if you advise her to go ahead and sell this one, Kush. Also, she has a Cochin Shipyard, good profit of nearly 70%. What should she do?
As Infosys goes, assuming that this is a medium-term trade, my suggestion would be to hold on. As always, put a trailing stop loss of your buying price since the stock is comfortably above, your buying price at the moment. So hold on. You may not get a big momentum, but I think from a steady, upside perspective, the IT stocks are seeing a rebound. So at least till a level of, 1500, perhaps even 1530, you could continue to hold on from a near-term perspective. As far as Cochin Shipyard goes, stocks seen a very sharp run up along with the entire defense pack. My suggestion would be to book 50% at the current level and hold the rest.
All right, moving on to the next query then. And Kush, let me come to you because this is a short-term trade that Gauri Gupta is looking out for, and she wants two counters where she can go ahead and bet for the short-term gains, probably making the use of the election rally. As of today, we are not seeing any, at least for the benchmark indices, but a lot of stock-specific action. But any stock that you like at this point in time on the technical front?
Well, even if we look at the market from, or rather, I would say we should look at the market beyond the election rally now. Of course, that's the looming, imminent, big event that is, upon us and will be out of the way in the next 10 days. But beyond that also, I think, the market will then start doing what it was, earlier. So from that perspective, my suggestion would be to focus on Geo Financial Services. That is one stock that we've been constantly recommending, I think, from the levels of 240, 250. Right now, it's consolidating. I think, it's a good idea to perhaps get into a stock when it's in a consolidation phase. So Geo Financial. Also, the second stock is from the energy pack. Most of the stocks in this space have been doing well. So JSW Energy is something that you can have on your radar from, let's say, a near to a medium-term perspective. On the upside, the stock has the potential to cross 650, 675 levels also. So Geo Financial and JSW Energy are the two stocks that I will have on my radar from an election perspective and beyond as well.
All right, this one is coming for you, Mr. Chokkalingam from S. Usha, who's writing to us from Bangalore and wants to know about Prestige Estate. She wants to know whether she can buy it with a 12-month perspective, or apart from that, she's given a choice of three counters. One is Shree Cement, Mankind and Motilal Oswal. Out of these three, which one should she buy? One, she wants to know for Prestige Estates at the current levels is worth a buy, and apart from these three, which all?
Yeah, I would give a sell call on Prestige based on the valuation. Among those three stocks, it is safer to go on Mankind purely in the short term because I believe by election results come out or post election market could correct and therefore it's better to be in pharma stock which could be a good conservative strategy.
Why out of those three stocks, Mankind would be a better bet to look at, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that is the take coming in from Mr. Chokkalingam. But on that note, we slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. When we come back, we'll continue taking your query, viewers, so don't go anywhere. Back, you're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now, and today is the Women's Special Edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. So let's continue taking the queries coming in from all of our women investors and viewers out there. And this one is coming from B. Soumya, who's writing to us from Chennai, and she wants to know about NHPC. She already purchased the stock at 80 rupees per share, Kush, as well as Nykaa at the levels of about 153 rupees per share. She wants to know whether she should go ahead and book profits in both of these counters or look to hold for a short-term period. And her short-term period is 3 months.
Well, from a 3-month standpoint, my suggestion would be to hold. NHPC has seen, quite a bit of volatility, which is a good thing actually because the stock's actually seen a dip and rebounded from those, key support zones as well. So continue to hold NHPC. I think on the upside, you could look at 115 and 125 as, the next targets in the next, 3 to 6 months, perhaps 3 months also should perhaps do it. Nykaa does have resistance at this, at this 180 mark, but once that is taken out, the stock will be ripe for a move towards 190. So perhaps here she could book profit partially and hold the rest of the quantity for a target of 195.
All right, that's the take on Nykaa. But Mr. Chokkalingam, the next query is coming from Reema from Pune, and she wants to know, is this a good time to enter prestige estates for the long term? Because all these real estate counters have shown great move, but do you still find value in a stock like Prestige Estate?
I find it difficult to justify after the stock has multiplied and whole real estate pack has gone up. I think this is the time to be a little cautious on the real estate pack. If at all the investor wants to be a very long-term investor in real estate stocks, then she can consider Oberoi Realty and also Nesco. A few days back, Nesco has come out with the excellent results. Cash is about 1,500 crore, and it has a lot of long-term expansion plan. So I believe Oberoi can give in the short term 15-20%. Nesco in 2-3 years can create a wealth. So based on their profile, they can consider one of these two.
All right, this one is coming from Sabitri Devi. This one, she's writing to us from West Bengal. She's a senior citizen. And Kush, she's invested in Strides Pharma at the levels of about 725 rupees per share, about 35 shares or so. She wants to know how's the technical prospect of the counter for the near to medium term looking to you?
Well, consolidation is the name of the game for Strides Pharma, at least, because, if you see the 20-day moving average is turning out to be a stiff resistance on the daily chart, which comes in at 870 levels. So the stock could perhaps continue to consolidate. Even the momentum indicators are indicating a bit of a downturn. So the broad range for Strides would actually be 830 to about 880. The stock's bang in the middle of that right now. Perhaps taking some money off the table from a near-term perspective may not be a bad idea. The rest she could continue to hold for 880 and beyond.
All right, moving on to the next query. This query is coming in from Ms. Rama and Mr. Chokkalingam. She wants an advice on AB Capital as well as NLC. Any of the stock that you like at this point in time for a fresh investment? She is a senior citizen and wants to invest the money for the next 4 to 5 years. So any of the stock amongst AB Capital or NLC?
Both of them done phenomenally well. As I said, I am little nervous on the overall market, particularly on mid cap and even large mid cap. Since he is a senior citizen and very long-term investors, I think he can go for stock like HDFC Bank and Geo Financial. I believe Geo Financial is better bet than HDFC Bank. She's willing to wait for 3 to 4 years. I firmly believe that Geo Financial in 3 to 5 years can become a multi-bagger, and it trades at 2 times approximately price to book value. And we know most finance companies coming from industrial houses, they trade at even 3 to 6 times. And along with the growth and the re-rating of valuation, Geo Financial would be a better bet for wealth creation in the long term.
This one is coming from Janvi, who's writing to us from Bangalore. 100 shares of Parag Mills Milk is what she has in a portfolio, Kush, at a price of around 229 rupees per share. She wants to know what should she do with this counter. She got it 3 months ago, and the stock has only been falling ever since she's purchased this counter. And we can see a 6-month chart also, and you can kind of trace the way how the stock has been falling, and there's a sharper fall in the last 1 month or so. What's your take coming in for Parag Mills now?
Well, the prospect of this stock were actually pretty bright, and we did see that translate into some price action as well. Just in a year's time frame, the stock had gone from 71 all up until I think close to 300 levels. So the bulk of the rally had come in in the last 1 year up until March this year. Now the stock's gone into a bit of a correction mode, perhaps the weight of expectations and the sharp rise weighing on. So I think she could perhaps continue holding, but keep a strict stop loss at 175. If that is taken out, the stock could see further downside. But I think the stock's approaching oversold territory, so she could see some sort of a rebound from these levels. So 175 would be my strict stop loss. I know she's in a deep loss, and 175 would be yet deeper. But this is giving the stock an opportunity to rebound at least to her buying price or closer to that.
All right, moving on to the next query then, and Kush, I'm coming to you for this query. This one is coming from Neha from Bangalore, and she wants a couple of stocks from the PSU pack or Adani group of counters that still look good to you for a 30 plus short-term rally in the next few weeks, assuming inline election results. So any stock that you like, and isn't it 30 plus rally in the next few weeks is too much of an expectation? Your take, Kush.
Assuming that's 30%, what I would like to congratulate her on is at least posting a very specific query, right? I mean, she's very clear in the time frame and the target that she's looking for. So kudos on that. But other than that, I think it's going to be extremely difficult for the stock to rally 30%. See, if the results are extremely favorable, better than expectation on the election front, even then, most of it is factored in. While the likes of, let's say a BHEL, which is taking a knock today, or even some of your, PSU names in terms of the banking space and the defense names could actually run up, most of that has already been priced in. So I'm not sure if a 30% rally is perhaps, a warranted one. But nevertheless, BHEL on the dip today is something that, she can consider. We are quite bullish on this stock. This is a buy on dips kind of a setup for us. So maybe that's one stock that she can consider. On the, Adani front, apart from the election story, we continue to like, Ambuja Cements and Adani Ports. So these are the two stocks that, she could consider, going long on. As I said, even apart from the election results, these are the stocks that, should be in your portfolio.
All right, so that's the take coming in on the stocks that you can keep in your portfolio irrespective of the election results. BHEL, Ambuja Cement as well as Adani Ports is what Kush has to say. Neha, I hope you've taken note of that. But this one is coming from Gargi, who's writing to us from West Bengal. This one is for you, Mr. Chokkalingam. She wants to know about the prospect and potential of Signature Global. This particular counter is a recently listed counter, so I will not get a technical view on that. I'll not come to you, Kush, on it. But what's your take, Mr. Chokkalingam? Have you been able to see this, the financials of this particular counter? Have you seen the fundamentals or tracked this one by any chance?
Right away, I mean, it has posted about 1 rupee 67 paisa EPS on a standalone basis. I hope I don't make mistake on consolidated, but apparently looks like the stock also tripled. Apparently the stock looks extremely elevated in valuation. So if she's lucky to have got this at a lower price, I think this is a good time to book profits.
All right, Mr. Chokkalingam, once again coming to you. This query is from Dhan Lakshmi, and she wants a suggestion of Vare Renewables Tech. She's a long-term investor and she has bought 40 shares, but her buy price is 2,910 rupees. She's at a loss in this one, but will that still be a hold, or do you believe that she should move out of this one and look for some other opportunities?
if she gets a chance to, sell it as and when it comes out of down cycle, one should sell, I believe. It has, even now it's trading at a close to 20,000 crore of market cap. I believe which is a very phenomenal for a company which is doing a business of around 1,100 crore. So I would sell if at all it comes out of the down cycle.
All right, this one is coming from Indu and she wants a technical view on CDSL as well as LIC housing for the near term. Actually, Kush, she's mentioned that she's entered both these counters pretty recently and they don't seem to go anywhere. So any better momentum picks available? What's your take coming in on CDSL as well as LIC housing? What should Indu do with her stocks?
Well, CDSL is a hold for sure, from a near-term perspective, from a medium-term perspective. The reason the stocks are seeing a bit of a pause is because the market is actually perhaps going into a bit of a pause mode, before the election result and the outcome is announced. But on the whole, the CDSL story is very much intact. The bias also, if you see in the last few sessions, has been positive. So pretty constructive on CDSL. She could continue holding on to this for a target of 2,300. LIC Housing Finance, perhaps not so optimistic. The stock was consolidating, gave a breakout, but then fizzled away, rather quickly. So if she is not really looking for an FNO stock, then perhaps she could consider getting into Geo Financial, which I and Mr. Chokkalingam both have shared just a while ago. So a switch from LIC to Geo Financial and CDSL she could very much continue to hold.
All right, but with this, viewers, it's once again time to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to take more of your stock-related queries. Welcome back to Buy Now, Sell Now show, where we get you answers for all your stock-related queries. And continuing the same, the next query that I have, Kush, is coming in from Reena Thomas, and she's been holding Federal Bank from a price of 118 rupees. Good to know that her buying price is quite low, because everyone has been just looking out that the stock when the stock actually moves above that 160, 170 odd levels. And Reena Thomas is holding 500 shares. She wants to know at what price she should exit and what should be the strategy right now in terms of the stop loss as well.
Well, given that, her view, or assuming that her view is short to medium term, it will not be a bad idea to book partly at this level. And one of the reasons is because although the weekly setup for the stock is very positive, it's on the rise, the stock faces resistance at that 160, 167 mark. So it's nearing resistance. But the overall setup is positive, so she could continue to hold part of it. So my suggestion would be, since the buying price is fairly low, it's a good idea to take some money off the table, especially before a big event. So book partly at this juncture. The rest you can hold for a target of 180, perhaps even 185 once this, 167 resistance is taken out.
One is coming in from Shaswati, who's writing to us from Delhi. One more coming your way, actually. Kush, IDFC First Bank, 1,300 shares at a price of 85 rupees per share. She wants to know what should she do, or what sort of strategy she should have for the next 6 months for IDFC First.
Exit IDFC First. You could switch to the likes of HDFC Bank if the view is long term, or a Geo Financial, even an ICICI Bank for that matter. If you're looking at a near to medium term perspective. Let me throw one more name in the hat, which is PNB. If she's looking for a slightly smaller counter, so Geo, PNB, these are the stocks that she could look at. But IDFC First Bank at the current juncture would be an exit.
Mr. Chokkalingam, coming to you for the next query, and Bhuvneshwari from Chennai has actually shared a long list of counters where she wants your advice. Firstly, she is already holding stock of TTML, but her buy price is 90 rupees and she's currently at a loss. So the first query is, what should she do in this one? And in the second query, she has come out with a list of stocks and wants you to select any of the stock for a long-term investment. She has stocks like IOB, Madras Fertilizers and Confidence Petro as options where she is looking. Okay, believe that we have got a patchy line with Mr. Chokkalingam, so we'll try to get his take on this particular counter, since it's a long-term outlook that she's looking out for. But just on TTML, Kush, if you can share your short to medium term outlook and any targets as well.
Well, the stock's on the rise. The momentum indicators are picking up, and it's also just surpassed its key averages, including the 200-day moving average about 2 sessions ago. So I think this rally, this momentum could continue. Also, there was a resistance of a falling trend line, that came somewhere close to 89-90 levels. So surpassed a couple of resistance points. Now the volumes are a little thin for comfort, but maybe as the stock moves higher and takes out slightly higher levels, also the volumes also might pick up. So on the whole, the stock looks poised for a nice run up, at least from a near term perspective, to the levels of 96 and perhaps 102 as well. So as far as, oh my bad, I was actually referring to the charts of Madras Fertilizers. My bad. TTML, the stock's actually consolidating. There is, the bias is mildly negative. So my suggestion here would be to hold with a stop loss of 72. If that is broken, please exit.
All right. Let me actually, I think we've got Mr. Chokkalingam back online. Before Shrishti goes ahead and asks you the query, let me take the one that I've got from Mahalakshmi. This one is for you, Mr. Chokkalingam. She has 2100 shares of BEL as well as 100 shares of HL. She's saying if she sells 100 shares, or 1000 shares of BEL and 40 shares of HL, will she get her capital? And will the remaining shares be free is what she's asking. She's not given a buy price, but I'm guessing there would be some sort of a profit that she's made in both of these counters. So she wants to know whether she should keep them for the long term because she doesn't need funds right now, or should she go ahead and do this partial or part selling of these counters in a portfolio?
It always makes sense to partially book profit on the basis of valuation. Of course, now BL with the 5 rupee EPS, the kind of P multiple is really quite stretched. So definitely, what she thought could be the sensible decision to take out some profit now at the current prices.
All right, moving on. And Mr. Chokkalingam, once again coming to you. This query is from Rebecca, and she wants your take on Coforge, that can she go ahead and buy this counter for a long-term investment right now, or any other stock you'd like to recommend her? Since Coforge in the news as well, the company has launched its QIP to actually fund the Signity acquisition. So your take on Coforge, or if not, then any other of your top bets at this point?
I'm not able to get the name of the company right.
Coforge, the IT major, Coforge.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, got it. Coforge, yeah. Yes, the stock has already, corrected a lot, and it's a decent company. And I believe the acquisition also should help them to maintain the growth momentum. So I would give a hold rating, and also considering the fact that I expect a lot of volatility in the market with the downward bias. So therefore, holding Coforge, the IT stock, would be a sensible decision at this juncture.
Coming to you, this one is from Snigdha, who's written to us from Delhi, and she wants to know about JSW Energy. You've spoken about this one earlier, so she wants to know what sort of an entry level should she look at for JSW Energy for a fresh entry. Of course, entry level as in for the fresh entry for the medium term.
Well, the current price is not too bad because the stock had seen a sharp dip, all the way up until 530, and it's recovered from there. A strong support zone is at 595, 600 zones. It's trading fairly close to that. So I think this is a good entry point to get into JSW Energy. As I mentioned, 650, perhaps even 690 are the medium-term targets to look at. The risk-reward ratio is favorable. And the confidence also comes back because the stock regained the 20-day moving average and is trading comfortably above that. So you could get in at the current levels, even perhaps hold it up until the 690 mark. And your stop loss would come in a little lower, say about 580 odd zones. So the risk reward ratio from a trend and a momentum perspective also becomes favorable here.
All right, moving on, and Mr. Chokkalingam, just getting your take back on Coforge, the last query that I asked. Actually, the viewer was asking for a fresh investment in Coforge, since you already shared your take for a hold rating. So just wanted to check that at this point, would you advise for a fresh entry? And Mr. Chokkalingam, let me just add one more. Reshma Bhatia wants to know, is there any future of Reliance Power at this point in time? Because she is already holding the stock, but she is at an 80% loss right now. So what will be your advice on this one?
Coforge, yes, it's a buy at the current prices. there is some valuation comfort. And Reliance Power, since she has lost already 86%, I think she can hold on. There are two parts of the business. One up and running. The other part is where the company has made a lot of investments in power business. So by any chance, in a significant number of those plants, if they can, bring back to commercial production or they form a joint venture to make them live, then this stock can recover substantially. But very difficult to predict whether that would happen in the short to medium term. But still, there is a long-term possibility, and therefore, considering that long-term possibility and her huge loss, it's better to hold it for a long term.
All right, Mr. Chokkalingam, coming to you once again. This one is from Nitya. She's writing to us from Chennai. No doubt her query is just for 3 months, but she wants you to answer this one. She has 1,500 shares of Suzlon at 46 rupees per share, about 800 shares of Patel Engineering at a price of 58 rupees per share. What's the outlook? What should she do for the next 3 months coming in for both of these counters? Does it make sense to stay put for more than 3 months?
If she wants to consider 3 months or 3 years, I think for both of them, current prices are good price to sell.
You would advise sell for both of them at current price, right?
Yes, Suzlon and Patel, both sell.
Okay.
All right, Kush, coming to you for this query. This one is from Sabitri Rani, and she wants any of your top bets from the pharma sector where she can go ahead and make a fresh investment with a medium-term outlook.
Well, the space is actually quite divided, so becomes a little difficult to pick. But if I look at one stock that's been making headway and gaining ground is Cipla. So that's one stock that she can consider from a near-term perspective for her portfolio addition. From a near-term perspective, as I said, 1520 and perhaps even a 1560 is the levels to watch for. And a stop here would come in at 1420, which is the 50-day moving average for the stock. Apart from that, I think from the pharma space, if I perhaps make it a little elaborate, she could also consider some of the hospital names. But perhaps just before the elections, a big capital deployment is not advisable. So can consider Cipla for now. Maybe after that you could look at some of the hospital names as well, like DM.
One is coming from Nishi from Bangalore, and she's a regular viewer of our show, and in fact she's been hearing all the views coming in from her experts, and she said that despite her not asking a query to us, she's getting so many queries answered. She's hearing the queries getting answered, so she knows what sort of a right investment decision to make. So thank you so much, Kush, as well as Mr. Chokkalingam, for actually advising our viewers in the right direction. And now she's asking, and she's saying that there are so many recommendations on Jio Finance. So Kush, she wants to know what's the buy price for Jio Finance. She already got the shares in the demerger with Reliance Industries. Now she wants to know if she wants to add more, at what price?
Again, even for Jio, the stocks actually dipped about 10 to 15% from the top. So even the current price, is a good entry point. If she wants to do a long-term investment, in this, assuming that's the case here, then this is one stock that you should consider for an SIP kind of investment as well. But for a bulk amount, perhaps you could consider, at this juncture also. The only reason I'm saying to wait up for a bulk investment is for the election event to get out of the way. There could be a fair bit of swing either way, right? So only from that perspective, you could perhaps hold up on that. But from a price perspective, I think this is a good range. 345 to 350 is a good range for Jio Financial to enter into.
All right, that's the take on Jio Financial. So Jio Financial is one of the consensus best share that is coming from both of our experts right now. So ladies, do look at that. But with this, it's time to slip into a very short break in this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be just right back after this quick break.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now Sell Now on ET Now. Let's continue taking all of our stock-related queries coming in from our women viewers and investors. And this one is coming in from Mika, who's writing to us all the way from UAE, and this one is for you, Mr. Chokkalingam, but I'm unaware and I don't think you track these counters, but nevertheless, let me give it a try. Syncom Formulations and Sarthak Metals. Do you track both of these counters by any chance? Because I believe our viewer Mika wants to invest in them for the long term.
Syncom Formulation, it has been struggling for quite some time, but recently it has posted a profit. Its sales are around 225 crore, market cap is around 1200 crore. So it's trading at around 5-6 times market cap to sales. And that is the kind of valuation the most successful formulation companies like JB Chemical, Ares Pharma, they command. So whether one can give that kind of valuation to this stock is a question mark. So therefore, I would suggest that if there is any further recovery in the stock, one should sell Simcom formulation. I'm sorry, the other stock, I didn't get the name.
Metals, but do you track this one?
No, sorry, I never looked at it.
All right, no problem. Shrishti?
All right. The next query that I have is coming from Shailja, and Mr. Chokkalingam, I want you to advise her on this one. She is writing to us for the first time, and she wants an advice on BLS International. Do you believe it's a good stock to make a fresh investment and stay invested in the long term?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's a great business model and unique model. The kind of business they are engaged in, I have not come across anybody in the listed space. But the only problem is the valuations are stretched. If person is holding, we can continue to hold, and if it moves closer to again 400 level, one can sell it. But if somebody wants to buy, it's better to wait because the valuation is extremely stretched in BLS International.
All right, with that, let's kickstart with the rapid fire then. This one is coming in from Poonam from Delhi. And Kush, can she buy NLC at present levels as well as Devyani International? She's making a loss. 182 is the buy price. What should she do with Devyani? And NLC, should she buy right now?
Well, Devyani, put a stop loss at 148. If that breaks, exit. NLC, yes, you can buy at the current juncture.
All right, Kush, one more query for you. This one is from Sandhya from UAE, holding data patterns. 200 stocks, buy price is 3,148 rupees. Good to hold for the short term?
Yes, the stop loss here would be 2,900.
All right, Mr. Chokkalingam, Shashikala wants to know about Indiabulls Real Estate. She bought it at 145 rupees per share. Can she hold it for the long term?
If she is losing heavily, she can hold. If not losing, then definitely one can sell. There are many better quality real estate stocks, like as I mentioned. She can consider Bohra Realty to Indiabulls Real Estate.
All right, Kush, Sushila is holding Lemon Tree from a price of 143 rupees. She has over 400 shares in her portfolio. Is that a hold or exit at current market price?
And the stop loss is at 144.
All right, this one is coming in from Lakshmi. Spandana Sphoorty, 100 shares at a price of 700 rupees per share. What sort of a target can she look at for the next 2 to 3 years, Mr. Chokkalingam, for Spandana Sphoorty?
I am maybe perhaps not comfortable with valuation. It's a sell.
All right.
All right, Mr. Chokkalingam, Sunita from Bangalore is holding Reliance Infra, but her buy price is 270 rupees. What's the outlook on this counter? And if you can also advise her on IRB Infra, do you like this stock as well?
No, IRB, I'm not comfortable with the balance sheet, the kind of liabilities and debt. The Reliance Infra she can hold with a target price of around 280-300 range.
All right, so with that, we come to the end of the rapid fire as well as the query segment. Thank you so much, Mr. Chokkalingam, as well as Kush, for joining us on the show and be a part of this very special Women's Special episode of Buy Now, Sell Now. But with that, let's take a look at what exactly is happening when you talk about Lok Sabha elections 2024. So let's get you the top headlines there. Then with the sixth phase of Lok Sabha elections around the corner, the BJP and the opposition parties would continue to campaign rampantly today as well. You have the Prime Minister who will address rallies in Uttar Pradesh as well as Delhi. And Congress leader Rahul Gandhi will kickstart his poll campaign in Haryana with rally in Charki Dadri and a public meeting in Sonipat, while Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge will be in Jharkhand and it will address 2 rallies in Ranchi and Godda.
And Bareilly ballot papers are being prepared by the Election Commission of India to enable visually impaired people to take part in the election process and cast their votes. Telangana CM Revanth Reddy visited the Tirumalai Venkateshwara temple along with his family members to offer prayers to Lord Balaji. After the darshan, Reddy addressed the media and stated his intention to maintain good relations with Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister.
Alright, so those are top headlines coming in at this hour when you talk about the elections. But with that, we are totally out of time on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. It's a goodbye from Srishti, myself, and the team that put the show together. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. Markets at Noon coming up next.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.